Did you know that according to legend, tea came from the eyelids of a monk? Hello and welcome to World History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly and today's video is all about the long history of green tea in Japan, its origins, and how it became so integral to Japanese culture. This video is sponsored by Nio Teas. What makes Nio Teas a unique tea company is that they go directly to the source to get the very best Japanese green tea. They literally travel through towns, villages, and mountains all over Japan to sit down with tea farmers and learn about the delicious teas they make. That way, they taste test hundreds of different types of teas to find the very best Japanese green tea. Check out their website at nioteas.com or click the link in the description below. Green tea in Japan has a long history dating back to the 8th century, where it began its importance in the country as a stimulant for meditating monks. In both the traditions of China and Japan, tea or cha was discovered by an Indian sage in the 5th to 6th century. This Indian sage, Daruma, also known as Bodhidharma, was the founder of Chan Buddhism, the precursor to Zen Buddhism. After spreading his new doctrine, he founded the Shaolin temple in southern China, and it was there that he meditated facing a wall for 9 years. During this time, his legs withered away, but right as he was on the verge of enlightenment, he fell asleep. He was absolutely livid at himself, and in his anger he ripped off his own eyelids and threw them to the ground, and from his eyelids sprang forth the tea plant. Tea became popular with the Buddhist monks for keeping sleep away, and is made by adding hot water to the young leaves, leaf tips, and buds. It was thought that tea had some medicinal qualities, and we now know that the antioxidant tannins in the tea can help strengthen the immune system. Monks visiting Japan in the 8th century, as well as travelling traders and diplomats, introduced tea to Japan in the 8th century, and some Japanese monks visited China and brought back both tea seeds themselves, as well as the cultural practice of tea drinking. In 1190, the famous monk Eisai, who established Rinzai Zen Buddhism in Japan, endorsed tea, which made its consumption in the country skyrocket. He even went so far as to write a book about the virtues of tea. The popular beverage wasn't just for the monks though. Street vendors by the early 1400s were selling tea to ordinary people. Vendors would tout for business by crying out "Ippuku isen," meaning a bowl for a coin. Green tea, brewed simply in hot water, can be quite bitter, so medieval monks would sweeten it using amazura, made from grapes or ginger. Tea was quite expensive, which meant it became pretty popular with the aristocracy, and during turbulent times in Japan, such as in the Warring States period, tea houses known for their calm atmosphere were the place to retreat and relax. These tea houses became popular with the samurai warrior class in particular. By the 16th century, just about everyone in the country was drinking and enjoying tea. The Kozanji Temple on Mount Togano was one of the first places famous for growing high-quality teas. And it might have even been here where it was discovered that growing tea in the shade made it less bitter. Today, the production of tea is pretty mechanized. But to make tea leaves ready for consumption in olden times required several careful steps, and some Japanese tea houses still use the traditional methods today. As production and popularity of tea increased, so did it become a greater source of tax revenue. This popularity really began in the 13th century, when tea grew to become a beverage consumed not just by those who grew the plant, but by everyone, and had well and truly established itself as part of Japanese culture. The Portuguese and Dutch traders in contact with Japan started to show their interest in tea in the final years of the 16th century, and in around 1607, the popular drink was introduced to Europe, and its cultivation spread to European colonies. Tea continued to be successfully grown into the 19th century, and its production may have been a contributing factor to Japanese industrialization. New ideas for machinery and new tea plants were brought back to Japan from India in the late 1800s, and up until the modern day, it has grown into a popular drink worldwide. During the medieval period in Japan, tea had become so popular that specialized schools were established with the goal of teaching people how to drink it. The most popular was green tea, which could be consumed as rough leaves or fine powder, the former of which was drunk after meals, and the latter for special occasions. Tea was drunk either in the chashitsu, which was a dedicated tea drinking room, or a sukiya, a tea house. In these spaces, the tea drinker was removed from the hustle and bustle of life into a calm and reflective place. Tea drinking evolved into an art form and ritual now known as the Japanese tea ceremony, with books written on how to properly conduct yourself when drinking tea, and how to fully appreciate the beverage and overall experience. Tea parties in Japan started off as boisterous occasions, where guests tried to guess what tea they were drinking, but this was stopped in the 15th century by Shogun Ashikaga, who made the event far more tranquil, simple, and conducive to quiet conversation. And so the traditional Japanese tea ceremony, or chanoyu, was born. The ceremony evolved over the years, essentially encapsulating the aesthetic principle of wagi, which is the appreciation of beauty and simplicity in everyday things. The man who instilled the wabi aesthetic into the tea ceremony, also simplifying the process and making the tea room smaller, was Rikyu, master of the tea ceremonies of the warlords Oda Nobunaga and his successor Toyotomi Hideyoshi in the mid to late 16th centuries. Rikyu worked to perfect the calm atmosphere in which his masters could drink tea and meet with important people. Although the 800-person all-day tea party Hideyoshi threw suggests they didn't always listen to their tea master. Rikyu's grandson Sensotan established the first tea school, and through his descendants, the principles of the tea ceremony spread across Japan. Tea-related decorative objects were loved, and Nobunaga once gave Hideyoshi a tea kettle as a reward for capturing an enemy castle. The tea ceremony isn't a formal event, although it does seem that way with the word ceremony in the name, but has certain procedures to follow that encourages relaxation in its participants. Many points of etiquette from the full tea ceremony still hold up in the modern day, despite tea ceremonies in a sukiya being less common now than they once were. The host is still the one to do all the preparation, and the location should be tranquil with some flowers or artwork in the space. The highest quality of green tea, matcha, is whisked in the drinking bowl and froths up a little, and the alternative sencha, cheaper and more widely drunk, is a brownish loose leaf tea that is brewed or steeped in hot water. The tea, once ready, should be taken in small sips, just as it was by the Buddhist monks of the 8th century, who initiated Japan's love of tea and also began the tradition of giving it as a gift. Quality tea remains a popular gift today, not only in Japan, but around the world, reflecting its enduring value. Do you drink tea? If so, how do you drink it? Do you follow any of the traditional Japanese tea ceremony points? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. This video was brought to you by World History Encyclopedia. For more great articles and interactive content, head to our website via the link below. If you like my sweater, you can find this design and a bunch more in our shop at worldhistory.store, or you can find a link for it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon with another video.